Welcome to the Divorce Awakening podcast,
where you wake the fuck up after divorce.
and you realise that your best life ever is ahead of you.
I'm Delia,
And I'm Sam Brindle.
and we're two happily divorced coaches here to show you that life doesn't end after divorce.
Mate, it's just getting started.
This is your chance to find out who you really are and build a life that you can't even imagine.
We'll be talking about purpose, career change, dating, spiritual shit, and falling in love with yourself.
Let's get into it.
Let's go!
Hi, and welcome back to the Divorce Awakening podcast. And today, I are going to be talking about returning to dating post-divorce. And we talked in our last episode about dating yourself. So if you haven't listened to that one, please give it a listen, because we really feel it is the thing that needs to come before returning to the dating world. But that's what we're going to be talking about today. The dating world. Sam, what advice would you give to anyone returning to dating after divorce?
Be prepared for quite a wild ride.
Yes.
And good luck.
Good luck. And it's a cesspit out there. No, we don't mean that.
Kind of. I think I mentioned in the last episode that it's interesting going back to dating, especially when you've come from a long-term relationship. And so the last time you dated, if ever, was like pre-apps, pre-anything. So it was a bit of a shock to the system, in all honesty.
So let's talk about how to date, I guess, right? Apps are, it's 26 at the time of recording this. Apps are the easiest way, right? It's not the only way, but I tried picking people up in coffee shops.
Did you? How did that work out?
Didn't really work out. Because it's like, what are the chances that the person standing behind you in the coffee line or wherever it is going to be A, single, B, single, C, attractive? I don't know. I think the problem is, I don't know about you, but I feel like in this world in your 40s, my life is quite small. Like, I mean that on one side, I have a big and beautiful life, but the circles I'm in is quite small, I should say. So I've got my daughter and all her friends and their parents, and we have an amazing social life. And then I've got some single friends and some married friends, but I tend to spend my spare time seeing my friends and doing those things. And you're with the same people, and it's not like being in your 20s when you're like at uni or you're doing all these different things and you're meeting new people all the time. I think what I'm trying to say is it's harder to meet new people in your 40s when you've got kids.
Yes.
Than when you're younger.
Yes.
Which is what puts more onus on dating apps, because it's an easy way. You can be sitting on your sofa on a Friday night with a glass of wine in hand and shopping for dates.
Yeah. And I was going to say a love-hate relationship with them, but there's no love. I have a toleration and hate relationship with apps, because I think we've come to a point where it's almost like that's just the way you go to find a date. And it's like we've kind of given up finding other ways to do it.
Yeah.
Like, where are the house parties?
Where are the house parties?
I don't know. Where do you meet people? So I did make a list, actually, of the qualities that I wanted to have to find in a man if I did meet someone.
Yeah.
And where they would be, almost like business development, and where they'd be hanging out.
Interesting. Where were they hanging out? Maybe our listeners could get some inspiration.
So, like hiking groups.
Yeah.
Running groups. I mean, I want someone who's active. It would be in sort of like a sports group or at the bookshop.
We've talked about this. Sam and I have both fantasized about eyes looking with somebody over the shelf of books.
The dream's still there.
The dream's still there, but how often do you go to a bookshop?
Never. Maybe the local library.
I don't mean to judge too hard, but I'm not sure the man of your dreams is in our local library.
Also, I'm not sure if I want someone local.
Oh, yeah, good point. And when we say local, we mean like in our village.
So when I was first separated, all my friends and like the mums from school group, all my different friend groups, have you met someone else? Have you seen any dads that you like?
Oh, God.
I was like, I can't think of anything worse. Like, I would enter into the rumour mill.
God, the worst thing would be dating a school dad.
Yeah.
That would be awful.
I mean, anyone who's doing that, good for you.
And when we say that, we're not judging, but we're just imagining how hard that is to basically be getting to the school dates with a different dad.
Yeah, and if it didn't work out.
Yeah, or...
I matched once with someone who lived in my town.
Oh, did you?
And the first question I asked him was, do you have children and do they go to a local school?
And did he?
No. Children.
So then you were able to say, okay, I'll meet you for a drink.
Yeah, but that was an absolute no-go.
Yeah. Okay.
So going back to where you could find people.
Yeah.
So I did identify where potential people could be, but then it goes back to, it's very much an investment of time. And I have very finite time.
Yes, we do. This is the reality of dating in your post-divorce, 30s, 40s, probably, or 50s or 60s, is that time is more finite. If you have kids and work and other responsibilities, you don't have the same time that you had. No, I hope to sound like my mom. Footloose and fancy free in your 20s.
But it's true though.
So true. So time is an infinite resource. So I love this idea, though, of throwing yourself into activities that you would enjoy anyway, because then it's an investment of time, but you're not doing it just to meet someone. You're doing it to make your life richer by doing an activity you love doing, and bonus points if you get to meet someone through that activity.
Yeah. I mean, I've worked with a client who joined a hiking group and because she really liked walking and she met her partner.
I joined improvisation classes and I didn't join them thinking that to find a man at all. Like I joined them because I wanted to do them. But it crossed my mind that would be the kind of like, what a great organic way to meet someone. But all the men in my group are gay. So, it's like that different like theatre world, right? So that's the other thing that's hard, right? I think I naturally like activities that are female heavy.
Yes.
And so that's the other thing that's tricky, right?
Yeah.
A friend of mine, she really likes rock climbing. So she goes to the local climbing gym and lots of men there. So yeah, I guess it's thinking out the box about what activities you could do that you would genuinely enjoy doing and you do them because you enjoy doing them. And then
you have something in common with the person that you do meet, if you do meet somebody.
I love that. Let's talk about the dating apps though as well, because you and I have obviously both dabbled in the dating apps since we've been divorced. And I feel like between us, we've probably got some intel and insights to share. Has shifted for you with mindset and using these dating apps? Like think about who you were at the beginning when you went on these apps and when you were to use them now. What shifted with your mindset? How do you approach it?
Remember the first time I downloaded Tinder and I was like a kid in a sweet shop and I was like, oh God, there's so many men here. Oh, look, I could go and like, there's so many people around. And then I started looking and my balloon was quickly deflated. But so in terms of that feeling in the beginning was like really excited at the possibility of meeting someone. I didn't know what I was looking for.
Right.
I didn't know what I wanted. And really, we touched on this in the last episode, I shouldn't have been dating. I had not done the work.
Why do you think you shouldn't have been dating?
Because I didn't know what I wanted.
Right.
I didn't really know who I was. I would just come out of a 10-year marriage. It was a bit pointless, in all honesty. I think you said, like, big walking red flag.
Yeah, I felt like that too.
And also, I wasn't in the right mindset for it. Like, I was still in the pick me mode. Like, I hope they like me. I hope that I hope this can go somewhere. I hope they're like the best man ever. And it meant that I went with an attitude of like being all kind of pleasy, not really giving anything away about myself, just kind of following their lead. But fast forward to today, I deleted the apps for quite a long time. And then when you're bored on a Friday night, like you've got no plans and you're feeling like a bit of a loser at home on your own.
You haven't got the kids.
No plans. So you're like, oh, maybe I might have a glass of wine and maybe I'll just have a little dabble. There's always that moment of like, maybe this time someone's going to just pop up and he's literally the man of my dreams.
Yeah.
It's always that kind of
hope.
Yeah. It's always squashed in a second. But I barely swipe right on people. Because I'm so clear about what I want and what I don't want, conversation can quickly it has to have a spark in the first
Yeah.
second. I don't know. There's something's changed in the sense that I don't want to waste any time.
I get that. I think that time is so precious. It's our most valuable resource. And I agree. I don't want to waste time. What I find valuable is asking questions at the beginning that are going to reveal something about that person. And it'd be like, what's one cool thing you've learned recently? Or where's your favorite place in the world and why? Like, not just like, hi, how's it going? How was your day? Because I think if we can go a bit deeper quicker, we're going to get an insight as to whether or not it's somebody you want to meet for a drink. So I kind of see it as like a funnel.
Completely. I've talked about it like a sales funnel.
A sales funnel. So you kind of go into the app and I've got a friend of mine who's single as well. And she says she never swipes right on anyone. Like, she's very fussy. And I'm like, I get that. And I actually take the approach of letting a few more people into that funnel, because I don't want the person I meet to be based just on how they look, which often apps are strong at, right? I mean, there's obviously lots of different apps. Some apps are better than others at giving more information, giving energy vibes, but for a large part of it, we're judging by photos. And so sometimes I like to actually let a few more people into that funnel and have a couple of these like good questions, and then let that sort of narrow down that funnel. And then I think a bit of chat for me, and there needs to be like a little bit of banter, so that I can imagine a bit of bants, which can be hard when you're in Spain.
I'm not good at banter in Spanish.
Are you? You know, I bet you're good at banter in Catalan though.
Maybe a bit better. Doesn't come fluidly.
It's hard. It's hard in another language. And then I think you've got to get on that date. You've just got to get on the date. You've got to get off the apps, I think, as soon as possible. As soon as you've got a feeling about someone that, well, this could be all right, get on a date.
I feel like you can know within one line of what people write.
Yes.
There's something, I don't know what it is, but you get a good feeling or a bad feeling about something.
Yes, 100% agree.
And as soon as I get that feeling, I will move the chat to WhatsApp.
Nice.
And what for me, going to WhatsApp is that I can check their photo. It corresponds to, not that fast, if it corresponds to the picture in their profile.
Nice. Like a security check.
Although what I have realised recently, I've started giving my Telegram account.
Oh, no.
Because WhatsApp is my business account. So they can see me nattering away on Instagram. I feel like it's a bit too much.
Yeah,
too much too soon. So I've started giving my Telegram.
Oh, I know. Nice,
Yeah.
I like it.
Which is also, you can send Telegram without your phone number.
That's cool. That's
Also
a great
recently
takeaway.
learned.
And I like the idea of keeping it separate
Yeah.
a bit.
Because I met someone and he was like, so how's your coaching business going? And I was like, did I tell you? I was like, checked you have a WhatsApp business. I was like, oh, it's going great. It's a bit awkward. I like he'd done his due diligence on me.
Yeah, I like that. So Telegram's a little bit more anonymous, and I like that you don't have to give your phone number
Yeah.
as well. That's like an extra level of security. Okay, so then I think we're both saying that we want to get off the app soonish. And then you want to go on a date.
Yes.
You need to test. And
Yes.
again, coming back to that funnel idea, you need to go on. It's a bit of, might be a numbers game, right? You might need to go on a few dates until you find someone you click with. So what works for you in terms of a first date? What would be your like ideal first date?
So the best date I've ever been on was we went biking.
Nice.
I mean, looking back, it was quite punchy. Like, we met and went cycle 2 hours up a mountain.
Wow, that's not for the faint-hearted.
But it was really fun. And like, luckily he wasn't dangerous. But it was really fun. And I didn't realise when we were chatting, I sort of threw it out there in the chat. Like, I like being outside. I like walking. I like cycling. And he's like, oh, I like cycling too. I didn't realise that he's like a fanatic cycler. And so he came very prepared.
In his lycra?
He didn't wear lycra.
I was about to say, that would be another good check.
But yeah, so he was thrilled. He was like, I've never had a girl suggest biking with me before. Like, this is great. So that was a great date.
Yeah.
And also less intense in that you're not just sat across each other at a table. There wasn't a lot of intense chat, but we could chat while we were cycling, unless it got really steep. So I can't support that.
I was about to say, I'm not sure I would be able to chat whilst going 2 hours up a mountain.
But that was really fun.
That comes back to what you were saying before about like, how can you bring what you love doing into dating?
Yeah.
So like if you're not meeting, let's say you're into hiking or cycling or running, if you're not joining a club and seeing if you meet someone that way, using the apps, but going on those dates, because then it's not a waste of time.
No.
It's like, I would have loved spending my Saturday morning like that with or without you, right?
Yeah, that's what I said to him. I was like,
Nice.
it can go, even if we don't like each other, you go your way, I'll go my way, but at least we both get a nice day cycling.
I love that approach, Sam. That's so cool. So another approach I've taken is, I like to call it like the 30-minute vibe check. I haven't done this as much since I've got divorced. I haven't dated as much since I got divorced, but when I was single in my early 30s, I dated more. I dated differently then because I was looking for someone to potentially settle down with and have a family with. So it was very different. But what I really enjoyed, and I still maintain today that it really works, is like setting up a short date. So instead of saying, okay, yeah, Friday night, let's go on a date. And then, you've like dedicated that very precious Friday night to someone you've never met before. I like saying, okay, well, let's just grab a beer after work. And then I will say, I've got dinner plans, even if I don't, so that there's a window. So they know before they get there. And I know before I get there that we're looking just to have a quick drink and then we've both got our own evening plans. And I really like that because it's like, that's enough time to know like what the energy is, what the vibe is, and then you can decide if you want to have a second date. And it just doesn't
really good idea.
Feel like a waste of time.
I've just thought of something as an extra step to the funnel. I just want to take a step back. Talking to a friend the other day, and she has that she needs to hear their voice.
Oh, good one.
And so she will ask for a voice message.
Yes, I've done that before.
Because
not asking for it, but I've left a voice note, wanting one back.
Also, I mean, someone's voice tells a lot as well.
Yeah, it's true. Because I'm just thinking about one date I did have where the person sounded very much like an ex-partner of mine. And the minute he started talking, I was like, I can't do it. You sound too much like them. Yeah. And I was, the minute he spoke, I was like, I've got to go. I didn't say that, obviously. That would have been really rude. But that was what I was thinking. So that's a really good check.
Yeah. So just
that's a really
little
good
tip.
check.
You just mentioned that, in your early 30s, you were dating because you wanted to meet someone you have a family with. You had kind of an intention to what you're dating. How do you think that's changed now? And how do you think that's affected the way that you date?
Yes, good question, Sam. I think it shifted massively because, so when I took, in our last episode, we talked about dating yourself, and I took 10 months to date myself before. Well, I did a sandwich. I did some dating when I came out of my divorce, realized I was a walking red flag, took 10 months to be on my own, didn't go on any dating apps at all, didn't go on any dates with anyone. And then at the end of that, felt able to date again because I knew what I wanted. And I think this is so key. Like you mentioned it earlier, knowing what you want. So when I was dating in my 30s, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to meet someone, find the love of my life, get married and have kids, right? That was the dream, I guess. Dating in my 40s, that's not the dream. That's not the agenda. And actually, I realized that I had a really full and great life, and I didn't necessarily need or want or I wasn't looking for a life partner, but I was looking for someone to have fun with, someone to have a connection with, and someone to have lighter, if you want to call it, relationship, but just fun and to keep it lighter. And so once I knew that, then I was able to go into dating again with more gusto and fresh eyes. But I would say that the need was so much lower to find that person. That is why I haven't dated that much. Yes. Like I wasn't going on, in my 30s, I was going on so many dates at one point. I sort of almost was like, okay, let's do this, and I'd have like...
Delia is someone when she puts her mind to doing something, she will do it.
I think I had like 5 dates in a week once in my 30s. I definitely had a couple of days where I had 2 dates on the same day. In my 40s, no way. Because I'm like, my life is fuller, bigger and richer and busier. And the need and desire I have to find a partner is lower.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't pushing me. It was like, my life is great. And if someone wants to come in and add more fun to it, then awesome. But if not, that's also fine. And so I think, to answer your question, that was the mindset shift. For me, it was like dating didn't and doesn't feel as important to me as it did before.
Yeah, I'm very similar. Well, I never dated before. I don't think I'd ever been on a date, like a formal date with someone, especially someone I'd never met before.
But that was because it was pre-apps, right? And it's harder.
Yeah, but people were dating. I was just never bothered. I liked being with my friends.
Yeah, me too.
And it's stayed the same now. But I suppose when I first tried dating after getting divorced, I didn't have it clear. I knew that I wasn't looking for a relationship, but I also didn't really know why I was on the date, So it just made it feel a bit weird.
I think that's probably one of the biggest takeaways, right? It's like when you're returning to dating, get clear on why you're doing it and what you want.
Yeah. Because there's people who are looking for someone post-divorce.
Yes.
And then you would have that intention to find someone, or like you, like me, like something fun that, you can tap into when you want to. And people who just want to have sex.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And it's all absolutely great.
It's all fine. It's just getting clear on what you want.
I think getting clear on what it is that you do want.
And I think if you are looking for a relationship, getting really clear on, like you did, and I did it as well, the exercise of what I want in a person. So if I meet somebody then, and I'm like, maybe this could be more than just fun, maybe I'm feeling more now, then you can be like, what that person is, because you've made the list.
Yeah.
You know what you want. And so when that person walks into your life, you can be like, yeah, that is actually what I want, because I've given it some thought and consideration. And then I think the other thing is, so it's like knowing what you want in a person, knowing also what are some of the patterns that have played out in your previous relationship history, and how do you want to play this differently? And you and I both thought on that as well, haven't we? Like how previous relationships played out, what we did, what worked, what didn't work, and what we want this time round.
Yeah. And even meeting someone new and having a couple of dates, there's still, you can still notice patterns. And I've mentioned a couple of times that the concept of like wanting to be chosen, like I hope they like, if I would think, I hope they like me. But now it's like, I hope they like them. So there's that change. And also being able to put in boundaries with people.
Yes.
Like just because they like you doesn't mean that you need to continue seeing them.
Yeah.
This was something that I learned, because there was always that thing of like, but if they like me, I shouldn't let them go. Because it's someone that's, even though you deep down, that they're not the right person for you. And I've worked with people going through the same thing. This is quite common. It's quite.
We latch onto people that like us just because they like us and it feels good, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you're feeling a bit vulnerable post-divorce and you're feeling a bit lonely.
And it's really nice to receive that external validation. But what happens is that they're not the right person for you. And then there'll be misunderstandings or start to have little arguments, or they won't act the way that you want them to, because there's kind of that gap.
Yeah.
Like in your heart of hearts, they are not the person that you really like. And yet you want them to still like you.
Yeah.
So
and to
that
fill a hole perhaps in your life. And I think that's another really important point, actually. It's like when you start dating in your 40s again, it's like really getting to know that person with an open mind and not being attached to an outcome of who they are, and not idealizing or creating somebody, like not creating them into the person you want them to be in your mind. I think that's so important, and taking it really slowly, because you can only know who they really are with time.
Such an important point. And it's very easy to idolize and to create a version of who they are and the relationship that you have with them as well. All these things to look out for.
All these things. I think as well, like when you're dating post-divorce, you are like, you've got more baggage. We all have more baggage. The longer we live, the more baggage we have, right? And so being aware of what your baggage is and how you're bringing that.
It's such an awful term, baggage.
It's such an awful term.
Talking about kids as baggage.
I mean, like, it is an awful term. What do we want to call it? History.
Oh, you mean like emotional baggage?
Emotional baggage, not just the physical baggage.
Yes, you're right. Experiences.
The experiences. Would I have that same, like, maybe in your 20s, this, like, we've been hurt, right? We've been hurt. We've had relationships not work out. We maybe could be more likely to be triggered as well. So the thing is that there's just an awareness piece, right? Of knowing that that is the past and that doesn't have to be replayed again in the future.
Yeah.
Just because you had a previous relationship that didn't work out doesn't mean the next one won't for the same reasons. And so it's something I have to remind myself sometimes that not to be judging somebody or the present situation or potential dating through the lens of the version of you that was hurt by someone else or the version of you that is triggered by something. Yeah. And it can be a challenge when you're dating in your 40s, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess it's just an awareness piece.
I think it always comes back to trust, but trusting your gut, trusting how you feel about somebody, first of all, not letting the fear of potentially being hurt as well stop you from moving forward.
Yeah. That's a big one because it can be really hard to trust again, to love again, be vulnerable again after divorce. Like that's stuff it can feel hard. And I think dating for that reason can be hard after divorce.
Which is another reason why we did the session last week around working on yourself first.
Yeah, working on yourself first.
Because relationships can bring up a lot of kind of old wounds and old, like you said, like past experiences. Even if you've done the work, they can still pop up. It's like getting to know yourself so well that you know how you want to respond to things.
Yeah. If I was to add one more thing to this, it would be like, how could it be more fun? Like, I know we've just talked about topics and it can feel a bit heavy and a bit hard, and like you just say like dating app, like say the word Tinder and it's like immediately makes you want to roll your eyes or like face plants. Like how could you make it fun? Like how could it feel easier, lighter? Like I remember going on a date with somebody in Bali where we went around waterfalls and it was so cool. Literally went like waterfall hunting. Or like you just said you had biking dates. Yeah. And so it's like, how could you see this as an opportunity to try new things, meet new people, go into it with an open mind and have fun? Because it doesn't have to be so serious.
Which is how I have it. Because my goal is to have fun.
Yes.
Because I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm looking to meet people, do new things.
Yeah.
And it can be fun.
Can be fun.
I think it's just, there's always a part of me that doesn't want to waste my precious time, which means I don't do it very often.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it is great meeting new people. And like literally, as we've just said, we do have quite a closed circle of people that we see. And so it is a really nice opportunity to meet new people who've got different opinions. Sometimes they're the wrong opinions for me. But yeah, like it's quite a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Yeah. Get a different perspective. And know that you don't have to date. Yeah. I know we've just talked all this time about dating, but also just know that there is no pressure to date. If it doesn't feel right, it's not the right moment. And that is okay. Like you get to do it your way. Like you get to decide to date or not date. You get to decide apps or no apps. Like, I think it's so important that you don't feel the pressure.
Because there is pressure.
Society, right?
I felt the pressure.
Did you?
Yeah. Like, have you met someone yet? Have you met someone? Have you met someone? There was so many questions. School dance. And I don't know if it's because people felt a bit uncomfortable about the fact that I was divorced and they didn't really know what to say to me anymore. I was like put in the corner. It
checked that you weren't going to go after their husbands.
Wow. That's another thing. I did start getting less invites.
Did you?
Whereas we would have been invited as a couple. We weren't invited as a single person.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't want that to sound like I've been with someone's husband. There is pressure.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I dated straight away, because I felt like it's the thing that I should do. But I don't think you need to.
No. I think listen to yourself. You'll know when it's right. You'll know when you need to take a break as well and delete the apps, and that's okay. And you just get to do it your way.
Yeah.
And have fun doing it.
So if you are dating, we would love to hear how it's going for you. If you want to share any funny stories, we're always very happy to hear those as well.
Yes. Drop us an Instagram.
And if you want any support on going through it, then again, you can contact us whenever you like.
We will put our Instagram in the show notes, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
It's a wrap.